Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to talk about a very easy technique which is mainly focused on self-study and self-learning, and this technique will definitely help you to improve and enhance your efficiency, especially in your studies. At the same time, the outcome of this technique depends on how much you practice and how much you use in a daily routine. So it all depends at how much you practice and use the structure. At the same time, I also want to call out that you can add, remove, or update any of the attribute that I'm going to explain based on your need and fitment. So please feel free to do that. I'm personally using this technique since long. You can say that I was also using the technique in my school, then in college, and then to my technical interviews. And currently, I'm using these all this technique especially for my certifications as well. So, in other words, if I say this technique is really effective and add lot of value to my daily routine in terms when I'm actually preparing for something. But at the same time, it is also important that you understand all the attribute of this technique before you start using or implementing in your daily routine. So today my focus and exercise is to explain you these all attribute in more depth. I will definitely try to go very slow and in a pace where you understand each component, and again understand also that how it's going to impact to improve your efficiency. So let's deep dive more into detail. Okay, I will try to go very slow and try to explain you each attribute in a more precise and focused way. But before we get into more details, let's break this understanding into three parts. First, the first step is where I will explain you the overview of the technique. The second is actually how I structured this all technique together on this slide, and third is how effectively you can use and what are the benefits you can get from it. So as a step one, if you see on the screen, we have topic or problem. So this technique especially you can use when you have a specific topic or a problem that you have identified, and that is where you want to focus more precisely. So if you see the other three part that you see on the screen is, first is learning, second is revision, and third is notes. So if you see our daily practice when we study, and when we study for quite a long time, what happened to us is actually that we forget a lot of important terms, important item, and we keep going revising those, and again keep making notes as well. So this technique works well when the topic is small and you have a limited exposure and you need a limited exposure to the topic, and at the same time you have pretty much need a very specific predefined scope that you are going to deal with. But think about that you have to deep dive a complex topic, especially something like artificial intelligence, where the concept to understand a basic heading, you need to have a very good domain experience or domain knowledge. When I say domain, it all depends at how much you understand computers, how much you understand intelligence, and how much you relate computers intelligence with artificial world. So saying that, it also indicates that whenever you pick a topic, there are a lot of topics for which you really don't need a technique, to be honest. Those topics you can actually go very smooth, cover the understanding, and you are good to go also. But at the same time, as I explained, there are a few topics where you explicitly need to kind of go a little slow, understand the concept, and then you can actually have more thorough understanding for them. And as I explained earlier as well, AI could be one potential subject where I see a good need of this technique, but it is not limited to AI. You can use it with any or any sort of subject or any kind of problem statement that you are currently focusing into. Why I actually am saying that I am breaking this topic or problem into three attribute, which is learning, revision, and notes, because lot of time when we read a topic or when we read a problem statement, we definitely go very fast, but we forget one common thing, that we always ignore the learning curve of that topic. So for example, what I'm trying to say is, whenever we read something, more or less we have a basic understanding of those words, and we kind of start making conclusion, and then we quickly get into a part of notes and prepare a quick note, and we feel that we are done. But lot many times, if you really revisit your own notes, because over the time you have spent little more time and focus on those subject or topic, you are able to gain more knowledge, and that is where you go and update your notes. So in this case, this technique is actually very helpful, because in this case I generally use, whenever I read a topic, I do not refer one or two headings or one or two paragraph for those. I try to investigate or go little deeper and learn the topic more. So when I learn, it's the learning curve of that topic. So imagine that if you are spending little extra time on a single topic and again try to learn and learn as a learning curve, then that is where you have two benefit. One is you have developed your interest. Second, you are also able to understand topic better. So now assume that if I am reading a topic like artificial intelligence and I referred more than one book, more than one paragraph, then definitely I have more knowledge, more attributes, and more keywords with me that I remember and can use in the notes. But you still see, I also have suggested and put in a revision in between. Reason being, because lot many time what happens is that we as a human kind of do lot of activity. We have lot of planned and unplanned activity in our daily routine, and at the same time we kind of miss out when to revise those things. So why I'm saying revision is important, because if you don't practice things on a regular basis, and again if you just kind of read the things and assume that you have a good learning, that will not help. I give you a very fair and simple example. Assume that a cricket player or a batsman or a bowler just look the technique by the videos of the existing players or recorded session and directly go on the pitch and try to implement those things. So if you really notice, that's simply not possible. Reason being, because you yourself had not practiced those technique. So in this case, my player did not practice those technique. So chances that he may not be able to perform as expected, because he did not have the right revision for those technique, or he did not have the right practice for it. So I always suggest, whenever you want to focus especially on some topic or some problem statement, when I say this topic and problem, specifically I want to call out that wherever you feel that such topic or any topic where you need more detail or in-depth understanding, this technique can be very very useful, and it will not give you a simple understanding of that problem statement, but it will give you a very good understanding, because you are spending little time in your learning. And once you learn that topic or problem, then you go and prepare your notes, and then you have a practice to do a revision. So generally revision is like have different pattern. I will say that revision depend at how much daily you can steal time and do a revision part. For me, it depends what topic I am picking. The reason that I'm asking and saying you revision multiple times is because lot of time when we read something which is important and complex, and again we learn, we make notes, and we do one or two revision, the benefit that you will get at the later stages is when you hear this topic again, and because you have now the solid understanding, it will not be very difficult for you to relate those complex things. If you notice also, in this explanation I also, or in this slide, I also have time box explicitly defined, or I am saying that any activity you do should be time box. So learning curve couldn't be like, you spend entire week, entire month, or your entire session only in learning, and same for revision and notes as well. So every activity that you perform using in this technique or using this technique has to be or must be time box. Again, one last thing I also want to call out before I conclude the first explanation of mine, that everything that you learn, everything you revise, and every notes you make have logical break into it. So logical break have two pattern. One is actually when you study for 1 hour, when you plan to study for 1 hour, I tend to take at least 20-minute or 10-minute break when I have a stretch of 1 hour. But it all depends that how much stamina you have in terms of continuous study. My feeling is always that when we study continuously, we might get into one wave or one direction of the topic. So it is always important to time box the activities and also have a logical break. So logical break will not give you only a benefit to go a little more extra mile and again read more details and more extra topic, but logical break also give you a formal break to rethink and relate whatever you have studied so far. So it all depends, to be honest, and again I'm again repeating that this technique is independent. I have customized this technique based on my need and my potential, so you can also do the same basis your need and fitment. But I recommend that if you have these three pillar, especially when you are also following this technique, which is learning, revision and notes, along with time box and logical break, trust me, it is very very effective. Now understand the left side of the screen or left side of the presentation, and again understand that why I have created or use such images in this slide. So first of all, if you refer my slide, I'm using 3 books, which is nothing but to indicate that when I'm reading something, I may go for more than one book. It is not necessarily that I may go for only 2 or 3, but I may go for as many books as I need in terms of understanding the topic or a problem statement. So it all depends what kind of problem you are picking. So I will suggest that if you have a simple problem, so do not spend too much time in referring many books, referring many details. For such topic, I will always suggest that go very fast, try to be more agile in those terms. But for complex topic, have this approach or mindset, or even for a medium problem or complexity or a medium topic, medium complex topic, you can also use this technique. Okay, the second thing I am kind of trying to bring your focus and again want to indicate in this part is that I am using one notebook in this slide, and again having 2 pens, which is actually to indicate that whenever I am taking notes, I generally have either black or red along with a blue pen. So it depends, because here I mentioned like you can use black or red or even any color that you want, but the main intent is actually to highlight and clearly take, whenever you are taking notes, clearly highlight or underline those important terms. So by the time you are reading those or revising those details, you are able to get into a situation where you are able to relate things, what are the main keywords that you need to remember and how you can relate it. Now the third thing that if you see is that always have in mind that there are not only one book that you should refer to understand a topic. This is why you see there are 3 different kind of book, and again if you see I made them different colors similar to my pillars that I have shown in, where I have yellow books, red book and green book. So sometimes it is important that when we become mature by reading one topic or one problem statement over a period of time, our books and context to understand those topics become very very different. So this is why you should always have different set of books, especially when you are getting mature into understanding a topic or a problem. But at the same time, do everything in a time box manner. Okay, so I hope I explained this technique very very in a very easy way, and again tried my best to highlight what are the attribute that I have used and I have followed. Maybe that will definitely help you to go further and understand this technique better. Let me also summarize the entire explanation again for you in a short description. Let me quickly summarize this technique in a very simple and concise manner. I try to be short so that you can conclude what I actually want to communicate. So first thing is, this technique is very very effective with an assumption that you are strictly following three common pillar, which is learning, revision and notes. And again, it has to be a time box event for sure. You cannot spend the luxury or a lengthy time on one topic to understand and investigate. So this technique is actually to save time, again to give you more agility in terms of going little fast in your studies. And the benefit that you will get, that especially use this technique where the topic is complex or you have a problem which is looks difficult or complex in nature. At the same time, the logical breaks are very very important. As I said, it gives you a logical thought or a break to understand things in a much easier way. At the same time, it also gives you a chance to think away from a topic when you come back again or when you read again. So a lot of time this helps me a lot. Whenever I read something, I may not understand things in one or two go, but using my logical break, I am able to kind of again focus more and use that part. From the other side perspective, as I said, that always refer more than one book wherever possible, especially for topic or problem which are complex in nature. For the notes part, always use two color pen. You can use any color. It is not necessarily that you use blue or black. I have even seen, I myself have used red and green as well, but to be honest, the experience with red and blue or blue with black is always good of mine. So you can pick any color. There is no hard choice that you need to make in this case. Third, always as a whole exercise or as a whole technique, try to focus to more precise thing, which is time box and logical break. So along with this, I kind of summarize this topic and hope it help you to understand better.